Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, the 3-man game. Now I seem to have had a bit of a fucking issue restoring this as a solo game. Obviously I've moved over to the laptop device, so you can see, for whatever reason, I can't seem to take control of Ian's club. I'm not quite sure why. I think I've seen it before. It's not a massive issue. I'm still able to give you a rundown on how season 122 concluded. Before we go any further, look at the dates, and this is where we're at. I think we've already kicked it off actually. Italy for Ian, Spain for Pep. They are involved in the Euro 21-36 campaign. Let's have a quick look. No, it won't let me do that. Of course it won't. We'll come to that in a moment. Okay, so first things first then. Where do we start with then for the epic season 122? Because it has been absolutely insane. Like all the seasons, to be honest with you, they all get really ridiculous. Let's start with the League Cup then. So Pepe beat Ian in the final of the League Cup. After I took back-to-back League Cups against Ian. So that's Ian's third defeat in the final in a row. And to be fair, Pepe, we're very relieved to have scraped that. I mean, he probably just edged it in stats-wise, particularly on target. So Pep takes the cup, and congratulations to him. Let's have a look at the FA Cup then. Ready for this? Ready? Drum roll. There it is. Pepe takes the FA Cup as well after annihilating our bogey team, our bogey AI team, although I think he was given a helping hand, as you can see. More about Tottenham in a moment, but credit where it's due to Pep there. He absolutely destroyed them. Whether they had 2 men sent off or not, Pep wins the FA Cup and takes it from Ian. So that's Pep's 4th final in a row, and he's now claimed 3. On to, let's go straight to the league, shall we? You ready for this? Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Now, it's interesting because if you've already caught up with the update on Facebook or the CM forums, you will have already read probably that this year, or shall I say towards the end of last year, December 35, was the World Club Cup for Chelsea, because we won the Champions League last season. Now, we did win it. Now, ordinarily, it proves to be a curse, whoever's in it, because you end up with a backlog of games, and it gets ridiculous. Now, fortunately, we held firm, Chelsea, to win our games in hand, or not fuck it up completely, because we almost did. More about that in a moment. We held firm to claim the title from Man United. Now, that is Pep's worst season. I think, what did we say, 26 seasons, I think we said. First time he's been out of top 3. Tottenham, credit where it's due there, Tottenham, they did make the top 4 last season. It was Middlesbrough, who are nowhere to be seen. So credit where it's due to Tottenham. But for Pep, that is his worst season. I think I read that it was his worst season in 26 seasons. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That is fucking awful. So since 08-09, when he finished 4th, that is absolutely crazy. So yeah, Tottenham, well done to Tottenham there. And unlucky to Manchester United. Leaves us now with the Champions League. And the Champions League is like that. Right, so the Champions League turned out to be a one-sided affair, to my delight, to Ian's disgust. I knocked Pep out in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. You'd ask yourself, why quarter-finals? Pep finished runners-up in his group, phase 2 group, and that proved costly, because there was always a danger he could land me or Ian in the quarters, and that's exactly what happened. But it was the first leg that did it for me, winning the first leg 1-0, second leg finishing 2-2. But you can see towards the back end of the season, when I had my games in hand, I mean, you can see we drew with Derby 2-2. We then lost at home to Man United 1-0. And I honestly thought I was going to fuck it up. I honestly did think we were going to fuck it up. And it took the last game of the season. So the last game of the season, we won that penultimate game in hand against Reading. And we were 2 points clear. Now, had it gone to goal difference, we wouldn't have done it. That is a fact. But the last game of the season, we had to win. And as you can see, I know they're not highlighted, Man U drew with Oxford. Now, the funny thing is, right, is both, because Ian could still win the title, he was always going to play a strong team against Oxford. So it weren't a case of saving players for the Champions League. Had I already won the title, he'd have played a weakened team, I'd have played a weakened team. No doubt about that. But that is how we finished. So that is season 122 in a nutshell in terms of the main competitions. A little bit of transfer activity we've had already. Before, we haven't gone through the update yet, so let's just have a quick look at any main transfers. Well, I've done a lot of transfers, to be honest with you. I've nabbed that youngster. I nabbed him from Pep, not from Pep, but Pep was up against me on him. I think I picked that guy up myself. No competition, and that one also was at the hands of Pep as well. Joel Barron. I brought Barron from Pep. Made a big deal with Pep, and I'll show you who's gone to Pep in a moment. These two guys here, Guy Gill, they're just youngsters that Pep was happy to get rid of as part of a deal. And this guy here, I think he looks the bollocks. Now, I would not have taken that goalkeeper, Barron, off Pep had that deal had already gone through, Hernandez. But nevertheless, that is that. And the players that have gone out to Pep, two players, one of which is his ex-player, my ex-player before that. So he's gone back to Pep. There's a reason behind me selling Dimiski, if that's Domakovsky, is how you pronounce it. Although he did relatively okay for me, but you'll see why. This Algerian looks the bollocks. Now, he was causing a fucking shitload of issues for me. And I offloaded my centre-half Greek, one of my Greek defenders. One player I did buy, I re-signed, where was it? Yeah, right towards deadline, was Lucas, a very versatile fullback. Was very, very happy to have got him. Erkan is being released. He's being, I've sent him away. I've sent Erkan away in the hope that he sorts himself out. And the reason being, he's been injured for the last 3 seasons, for the last season, but you can see how well he is of a left back. And I'm just hoping he can sort himself out. I don't often do that, to be honest with you. Going back to strikers then, so I said about strikers, the reason why, and I think this is Zeko regen, I bought him last season, but you can see just how prolific he has been for me. And he was only a 1 million signing, so very, very pleased with that. The Messi regen has played behind a striker, and he's done extremely well. Then, of course, I've got some real quality players that have come in as and when. Cap has come from the reserves. That is a Tevez regen. I was looking at maybe flogging him, but I decided to keep him. Now, Cacho, he arrived, you may recall, last season as part of an exchange with Ian. And to be fair, it's always nice, I think there's no doubt, when we get a player from one another, it's nice to have him perform. It's almost like I've got the best out of him. I think I said that on a previous video somewhere. So Cacho has done extremely well, and with Cacho doing so well, there was another player, Medina, who's done really well for me, 20 assists. He is 31, Medina, and you can probably already work it out. I am looking to flog him. For the simple reason, I've got a lot of competition coming for the left side of my 3-man midfield. I have got Ray, who's coming from the reserves. I've got an Ozil regen in the reserves. That's ready to come in. Then on the right side, Salvati, Lee's done well. And as I said, you know, there's a few players that can come in from the reserves to strengthen that. DMC, well, it's going to be Nunes all the way. That is Philippe Nunes. There was a game, right, I forget which game it was, I fucked up, right. I picked my team and I put the wrong Nunes in DMC. I put that Nunes. He got a 7 as it happened, but I was fucking livid. It was whilst I was going for a bad run. I managed to win my game regardless. Divirez, now, he'll probably stay in the same setup. I did bring in Galergo from the reserves because I sold my reserve DMC. And in terms of at the back, I'm quite pleased with how my back line's shaping up. And the way I do it is I do it like that. So my fullbacks, where's Erkan? I've got Erkan over there because he's not training anyway. I've technically got 6 fullbacks, which is really handy. Technically I've got more because Alcorta, which is a Ramos regen, he could play. Gutierrez could play at right back. They've both got the credentials. My Greek defender, solid, but gets injured a lot. Which is quite frustrating. And I've also brought Du Prado from the reserves. Just a quick recap there, and then just have a quick gander now then at my reserves. Yeah, I mean, this is like, I think you may recall this guy. I call him my Mo Salah pre-gen. He's played a part this season, massive part, but I decided to put him into reserves to bring Ray up because of the age, and you know, there's a big future for this guy, absolute huge future. Soto, I think that is Xavi. He's had a couple of games. I'm hoping this next season, I gave him a new deal last season, I'm hoping he can really start to develop. Quick look at that guy there, Rowley, just want to show you him. So, you know, in terms of my goalkeepers, I mean, I've got some real quality goalkeepers coming in. My Mexican goalkeeper is finally going. He is finally going. And as you can see, let's go back. There's a few others that are going to Italy as well. Hubler, that was my other DMC. He caused a few issues. He is going as well. Okay, let's take a look now then at the Euro 36. And Pep has kicked it off with a 2-0 victory over France. Sure. Yeah, Italy have won 5-0 against Switzerland. As you can see, he is off and running. So let's just take a look now then at the Euros. I mean, Italy won it 4 years ago, and I'm pretty sure that would have been Ian as manager, in all honesty. So let's take a look now then and see when Ian was named. I'm pretty sure. Hired, so yeah, 6 years ago. So coming up to 6-year anniversary. So yeah, he is a European. He's definitely the European holders. Let's take a look now. And then how did he do in the World? I don't think he won the World Cup. I'm sure he didn't. No, I got that wrong. He did win the World Cup. So credit where it's due to Ian here on the international front. He is world champions and European champions. Give him credit where it is due. And let's take a quick look now then at Pep. Let's see where we are at with him from an international perspective, and then we'll have a quick look at his signings as well. I think he took the Spain job mid-season when I left, because I just couldn't be fucking bothered. Yeah, so yeah, he took it not long after the World Cup. So, but Pep has got a good record. I think he's probably got the best record, I'm sure, overall from an international perspective. Okay, on the subject of Pep then, so let's take a look now then at any of the key signings from Pep. I mean, you could say I've really helped him out with those that Polish striker and the Algerian centre midfielder. He's really only brought youth players. I mean, that right back's a good right back. I remember pointing it out. He's not really brought brilliant, to be honest with you, Pep. I mean, it is still early days though in respect of the transfer, the new season, and so on and so on. Ian, now Ian's brought a couple of decent players. It was Varela, I think is a good player. Varela's a very good player. I think, although that was towards the back end of the season, that was in March, but the problem with Ian, I think he's pretty much made it obvious to both me and I assume Pep, if he's seen it, that he needs a right back. Ian has been making numerous attempts to buy one of my right backs, and it's that guy there, and you can tell because Ian's not stupid. He knows he's unhappy. He's probably hoping that he goes AWOL. But do you know what? It ain't happening unless I get a really, really good deal. And the reason that guy's not been playing is because Bazon has been playing as my right back. He is more. I've been starting to write stuff like that. Best at right back. You've learned the hard way. I think Lucas I found is best at left back. So that is where we are at then, guys. What season 122. As I said, Ian's name's not highlighted. I've not been able to resume it for some fucking stupid reason. But it's not a massive issue, to be honest with you. Pepe, you know, what can you say? Hang on a minute. Yeah, no, sorry, scrap that. So yeah, so Pep, it's the first time in 26 years he's finished out the top 3. Absolute disaster of a season, it's fair to say, for Pep. Back in 24, 25, so did I end up 4th then? Let's just check that then, 24, 25. Oh, I ended up 5th, fucking hell. Right, okay, fucking hell. Do you know what, right? Do you know what the ironic thing is? Yeah, go back here then. So cast your mind back then to the year 24, 25. I ended at 5th, but I hadn't won a Premiership title there. That's really what springboard. Yeah, look, the more I look at it now, so it really springboarded me into action, because since then I've finished in the top 2 every season. So yeah, okay, all good. So yeah, that's when I took over Chelsea, 18/19, but at Chelsea ever since. So that is that. Let's have a look at some manager stats then. Fucking, that is such bollocks. I don't know who Justin Black is, but that is such bollocks that Ian or myself wouldn't be number 1. Pep don't deserve to be number 4. Let's take a look at the All Nations. It's absolute fucking bollocks, isn't it? But hey ho, let's have a look at the let's have a look at points then. Yeah, I think that's due to the Champions League and the league win. That's one of Ian's poorest years in terms of points. Let's take a look at something then, if we can. The Hall of Fame. Now there you see. I don't know if anyone ever really looks at the Hall of Fame, but basically I think it goes in at the end of each calendar year, so December. And the date that you see is the date that it went in. So Ian hit 636,000 points on the 2nd of February this year. Let's look for a recent one then, if we can. I don't know, what have we got? When did we finish the last season? We've got one there from Ian, which was March this year. Pretty sure this goes in at the end of the year. Oh no, what am I talking about? Sorry, scrap that shit, because this is my laptop save. This is my laptop save. I'll need to, I think the Hall of Fame is different, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. You fucking did. I'm going to have to look at that, I think. Yeah, I think I might have to do a video on that. Hall of Fame video. And how it actually works. Because this has only got my 3-man games on. But if I go to my main device, yeah, I'm going to have to check that, I think. Okay, scrap that shit. Okay, so yeah, this is all fucking bollocks. But there are lots of other manager stats that you can look at. Save that for another video. And that is where we're at then, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We are still going. Season 123 is right around the corner. You know, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? There is no fucking line. Okay, till next time, guys. Take it easy from me.